Impeccable timing to ask me this question during a live chat. I'm going to record it because this is interesting. Something to chew on. It might not be immediately valuable for your crypto portfolio, but hear what I have to say. I've been in this game for 5.5 years. You might find some value in it. So I got asked the question, essentially, when I'm scouting altcoins, how much weight or importance do I put on the difference between proof of stake and proof of work coins? Great question. In the past, so up until very, very recently, I would say that was among the weakest points of weight that I have when considering what to choose. For example, on a test, you have multiple choice up top, word problems in the middle on a math test in school, and then like the big long one down at the bottom, right? The big long problem that takes you half the test is worth 20 points. It's weighted heavier. The ones in the middle are worth 4. The multiple choice are worth 1. They're weighted differently, right? So the way in the past that I used to do is it was one of my multiple choice ones. I did not put much weight on it. What I put most weight on was coin circ, because I noticed this bull run, not only did the founders and creators of companies, essentially the main reason they're getting into crypto is to be able to sell to their investors immediately, because they kept almost all their coins. And not only that, they freaking lied about it. That did not happen in 2017. The information was correct on CoinMarketCap what the circulating supply was. So this time around, companies either lied, specifically lied, or hid. So had it on their website in some place where you could have found it, but on CoinMarketCap, they left it wrong because they always have access to go change it at any time. CoinMarketCap has already verified that that's accurate. And a lot of companies lied. So I put more weight on CoinCirc versus like how much of the percentage of coins are out. So what is the best performing altcoin this bear market? One where almost 100%, or actually 100% of the coins are in circulation. Chronos Tech time, ticker time. It's going insane. Is it a coincidence that all of its coins are in circulation? No, it's not. Because the project founders or the company leaders aren't taking coins and dumping them on you. They can't. They're all in circulation. They didn't keep 80% of their freaking coins for the team or the dev team or the marketing. That's what I put the most weight on, CoinCirc, percentage. However, while that is still among the most important things for me, and the weight that I'm going to apply to the proof of work versus proof of stake, that during this bear market only has become of even more. I flipped, actually not flipped. The proof of work versus proof of stake went from being weighted like a multiple choice down to being the last problem on the math test that takes half of the whole test time-wise, right? Here is why. And I just said this last night with my VIPs, and I hadn't said it to them before. So you're going to get, I guess, juicy or new information, but I think it's fine sharing this. Here's why. I got lucky that during this stream, I already mentioned the fact that when news is released that affects the markets, or when Elon tweets, for example, back in February or March 2021, the timing of that tweet was almost absolutely perfect in the charts to go up, to pump it, especially if you're a market maker. The signal was exact and perfect on multiple fronts, indicators, structure, all that stuff. News-related political fighting, for example, they get the information, they release it at the right time. For example, not to get political, but for example, the American Democrats are very good at politicking. Do they win as much as they, should if they're that good at politicking? No. but they're really good at politicking. One example of kind of like what we're facing here, and you're going to see why I'm saying this. It sounds unrelated, but it's freaking not. It's the government, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen. So when Kavanaugh he's a Supreme Court justice, when he was going through the process of getting, sworn in and all that stuff, whatever, being chosen, I think it was Kavanaugh. The U.S. Liberal Party, the Democrats, already had beef on him. They had been collecting it for months, or already had it for years, because they knew, they knew who the best candidates were. That the president at the time, I'm not going to mention the T word because that might trigger a lot of people. But orange hair. When he was selecting his candidates, you already know that the Democrats politicking, they're already going out and getting beef on everybody and hoarding it for the right moment. Like sitting there waiting with the evidence. Okay, when are we going to open it? When are we going to do it? Now. They waited until the exact moment to strike, right? Elon's tweet. It waited for the right moment in the charts to strike. What the fuck does this have to do, Tim, with the question in crypto? Why am I still listening to you at this point? My God, here is why. Connect those two together. SEC got embarrassed with the results, or not results, but just how it's going with Ripple. You need to realize that the SEC is like, let's stop imagining the SEC as a group where you can't personify it, and imagine it's a person, one person, right? It's like that. I don't know, like a bad guy or a cop, like the only cop on a movie who's chasing somebody at multiple times throughout the movie, like always chasing you, right? So just it's a person. Imagine it's a person. SEC, which is, suing Ripple or whatever it's doing. They got embarrassed because they thought they were going to make quick work, almost like Russia with Ukraine. They're getting embarrassed. They're going to retaliate. Not just because they think it's right, because they're angry. I'm telling you. What does that have to do with all the shit I was saying earlier? They're going to wait until the moment's right to strike. What does that mean? I still am not connecting the dots. That means crypto will already be in a weak posturing when the SEC comes out with like 20 different coins, of maybe 10 of them, that they're going after, and the market is going to get rocked. And it will be in the charts. And the SEC is going to wait until that freaking moment. Because the Democrats are kind of pretty much, well, not in the House, but they're going to maintain, I think, Senate's not, it's up for the debate. No, they will have Senate control. So they'll still have two branches completely good to go. And so the SEC will be able to do that. That means maybe the technical bottom targets have already been hit. And then it just does the clean, so like the big crypto clean sweep. That's worst case. Do I think that's going to happen? Maybe not. It might happen when the natural next leg down was going to happen anyway, and it just stimulates it and makes it go slightly deeper, maybe a wick to 9,600. I don't know. But if we go down to, let's say, 12K to the next origin line down, and then start to recover, make a higher low, and right when you're trying to scoop out of that for maybe, like, was that the bottom we just did? That's when the SEC would strike. Right in that exact scenario. Or after it technically bottom went sideways and was going sideways for a while, it would strike at that moment. Either sideways action after a low, consolidation phase or accumulation phase, and then or a higher low. And so proof of work versus proof of stake. Proof of work coins, on average, are not a company. It's mostly the coins that came into existence before crypto was NASDAQ 2.0, full of securities, with teams and marketing teams and dev team with 80% of the tokens that were created out of thin air and sold to investors who are promised the moon I'm telling you, almost all cryptos that came out April 2017 and after are going to have exposure to this. And it's probably going to happen. So proof of work coins on average, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Monero, technically, yeah, Bitcoin Cash. A lot of so monetary coins are typically proof of work. So not only is proof of work more important to me during this bear market because of all this, I'm specifically, I might. So what I was saying last night is I might get rid of all my limit buys, my down really low targets for stuff like, whether it's Kadena, Trias, BPRO, whatever. I'm considering changing my approach to only going with both monetary and proof of work coins. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dash. I'm not going to buy Bitcoin Cash. Nothing personally against it, but I don't think there are going to be that many winners in the space, so I would bet on Litecoin and Dash to be the transactable portion of crypto. Because Bitcoin, I don't know. I don't, even with Lightning Network, I don't think it's ever going to be the transacting branch function of crypto. I doubt it. Bitcoin will probably be more used for making banks prove they have the funds. It might be because it's a public ledger. I always thought that would be a Bitcoin's downfall, but honestly, that might lock it in as a proof, as a reserve currency, because you can prove whether you're solvent very quickly. Public information. All right, that might be what it's used for. And then, so the SEC, it's already clear, or at least to me, it's already clear that they're not going to go after those coins. Why? Because they got embarrassed and they're going to pick ones where they know they're going to win. They're going to pick an easy fight. They're not going after a crypto that isn't a company, didn't have an unfair IPO. Like hell, even Monero, coming out a little later than Bitcoin and Litecoin, they had a fair mine. I know, wait, they had a small pre-mine, but it's not an ICO, right? I think no, it was a fair pre-mine, right? But anyway, these proof of work coins, they're not exposed to that. So even if the SEC didn't have anything else to do and they wanted to come after, Dash or Bitcoin, they couldn't. It's not a company. By default, it can't be. Right? So, but all the other coins since roughly April 2017, man, because the SEC is going to retaliate, they're going to wait for the exact moment to strike. They're almost definitely going to strike proof of stake coins that came out after April 2017. I might switch my game plan, get rid of all my limit buys for all proof of stake and non-monetary coins, and I might only go with Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dash, and maybe XRP. Because I think XRP's case, at worst, they're going to lose but get slapped on the hand. They have plenty of money to pay the fine. It won't affect XRP price at this point. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like. So, but I might, if I did it, I probably wouldn't. I probably would include a little XRP because they've already gotten past that phase, right? And that's it. And I consider that, even though XRP is not a cryptocurrency by definition, and I feel that it is a bet against Bitcoin, but I think it's a good hedge versus Bitcoin as a bet. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but XRP is I guess it's the opposite bet of Bitcoin. It's not a crypto. It is centralized. It is working with traditional finance. Bitcoin is the opposite. It is a bet against Bitcoin not working. And not in terms of adoption. Which one will be adopted? It could be both, right? But it's still a bet against it. It is. If you view it that way. So I would view that as a hedge, right? So monetary coins, sort of including XRP in that. And that's it. That's my full on freaking answer. Hopefully you found it valuable, and hopefully you got through that, because man, not understanding the idea that the government will wait to strike and all that stuff, I had to explain that. So hopefully you found that